And G.
And what?
G.
Good.
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 Good. Good.
Good. There you go. Talking my language now. Okay, good. So again, you can look at this and see what kind of chords it's more or less based on. Some instruments will only play in one scale or a few scales. So, and therefore the music has to be written in those notes. We've gone over that in the past. So now what we're going to try to do is figure out a chord chart.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. We talked about before, let me see your ukulele. On guitars and ukuleles and a lot of instruments, on the side they'll have little dots. Those dots are there for a reason. They're there to tell you where that is. Like this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6, 7. So like in the diatonic scale or chromatic scale, you've got to know what 5 is. In the standard, what we call open chords, which is what most of us are playing. Open chords, which means there's open strings. They're not all closed, all held down. There's some open strings. That's the kind of strings that most people are doing what they call the standard chords, so, which means some of them are going to be open. Okay. Now, we've gone over this before. If I take, what's happening?
Only one beat.
It's going up. Da, 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 da. Okay. The higher you go, the higher that note value is going to be. Okay. So then you've got to take your knowledge of music in theory and put it to work. So this is an E, this is a B, G, G, D. G here, G3, and G4. So middle C is in the middle there. This is where we start with the diatonic scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's called a diatonic scale. A lot of music is based on the theory or the physics that goes behind that. The next scale you start working on has got black keys. That's generally speaking in C, it's all white keys, no black keys. So if you look at your keyboard, you start adding black keys. The next scale is a chromatic scale. It's got 12 notes. You've got more notes. Okay? That's the way the string works on a chromatic scale. And this is where people have a really hard time sometimes getting from the diatonic scale to the chromatic scale. But we've gone over and over it, so at some point it's going to sink in. Okay. The chromatic scale, each tone is a half tone above the next. That's all you've got to remember. You can remember that, more than likely you can figure everything out you need to figure. A half tone. So C is to D is a whole tone. A half tone is C to the black key, C sharp. D to the black key, the D sharp, a half tone. Then the system cheats on you. E to F is a half tone but no black key. And that's just the way it is. B to C is the same thing, a half tone, no black key. And again, that's just the way it is. So one way to learn that, and you have to get this from books, is that you got in your scale. No, I'll stay away from that for now. trying to build on this here. Okay, so this is a, let's say, E and B are going to be the hard ones because there's no black key. Okay, so there is no E sharp the way there is other ones. There is an E sharp, but we don't really call it because there's no black key. B, there's no B sharp because that becomes C. That's why sometimes the number system is a little bit better to use than the alphabet per se. So if you go up from E, a half tone, you've got what? If I put my finger here, this string now becomes an F. If I put my finger here, this string now becomes an F sharp. If I put my finger here, this string now becomes a G. So that's what you're doing when you put your finger on, these are called frets, a fretboard. So first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, and so on. So when you put your finger here, that's the third, 1, 2, 3 fret. So this is how you make a chord. So let's make a G chord. Okay. Anybody? What is G chord?
It's going to.
G, B, D. So now we got a D. What is this one? A G, a G, a B, and we just turned the E into G. So now we have a G chord by pushing that. Okay? Same on the ukulele. On the ukulele, just hold that, and you've got what kind of chord?
G.
C chord.
C. Oh, C chord.
So all you have to do is put your finger, and all those notes have to be that chord. Okay. So now we can make a chord chart. If we want to play in the key of G, let's say, we want G, B, D. So now we're going to have to make a D chord. So now we want D, F sharp, A. It's going to be a lot of work. Okay? That's why some instruments play better some places than others. But we're going to have to turn all of these D into either F sharp or an A. And here's an F sharp. All we do is move this finger down here, and we've got an F sharp there. But we have to do that for all the strings. That's why in a lot of instruments, you'll only use 3 strings. Sometimes you'll use 4 if you can. But most, I shouldn't say most, many chords are 3 strings because you've got 3 fingers to work with, right? Yeah.
So your D chord is D, F sharp or D, F?
Say again?
The D chord, is it a D, F sharp or D, F?
D, F sharp. The D chord is
D,
1
F
sharp. That's where your circle of fifths comes in. And again, on the internet, I've got these classes going back for 2 years. Jack gave some to start with, how to read music. Roy should be able to tell you how to look at them on YouTube, like this is being taped. It probably will go on YouTube, and you can sit there and hear the class again. So, if you have a question like that, take notes. You know, what day I'm talking on what subject. Like today would be the Mejorana, Panamanian music. And then a year from now, when next November comes again,
Yeah.
I don't need to give the class again, you just look at it
And the video.
on YouTube. Right. So this is what a chord chart is. So you have a chord chart? Oh, a chord chart. almost any books you buy for a string instrument will have these diagrams in them. So you don't have to learn all those notes. You should. You're going to become a better player if you do. But the bottom line is if you play them, you've got that chord. The problem is when there is no such thing as a chord chart for Mejorana or Socavan or a lot of these instruments throughout Central and South America, you're going to have to make your own. So you have to make a chord chart. And let me see. A lot of chord charts. Oh, here they are. Here's a summary of the major chords. Major chords, minor chords. There's a whole chord chart. So you make one as many keys as you need. If you're just going to learn the 3 basic keys, C, F, and G, you need 3 chords per key. Right? Okay. Hopefully you took good notes on that. That's kind of hard stuff, and hopefully you're going to go over it again. We'll be working more with chord chart. And that chord chart is not only for the string instruments. Same thing as on the keyboard. It's all the same. Music doesn't change depending on the instrument you're playing. And I'll show you this book, Delcy. Delcy?
Yes.
I'll show you this book.
Okay.
You can buy one sometime that's well, in my opinion, well worth buying.
Okay.
Extremely well done. Okay. Now let's get on with the music part. The theory. Okay, I'm going to erase all this. I'm going to start on another. Okay. Here's a song.
Copies?
What?
Do you have extra copies of it?
Would that belong to Mrs. Mercedes?
Do you have another copy of this?
No. Okay, the song we're working on, as I said, is one of the most popular Panamanian songs. Tamborito is the national dance of Panama. Little drum, tamborito. Ito means little. Okay? So, and the drum of happiness, allegra, happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at it there. First of all, look at the signature of it. It tells you that it's 2/4 time. So 2/4 time, that tells you that there's 2 quarter notes in a measure. Therefore, you count it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? However, a lot of people add to that, and it's good to think of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay. But 2/4 time is 1, 2, 1, 2. Quarter note 2. Then you look at it. And this is where the mnemonics comes in. Look at every good boy does fine. Right? Face, F-A-C-E, and there's no sharps anywhere, and there's no flats anywhere. Therefore, it's in what key? Key C. C, the standard key. Middle C. C, C. C is the milestone on the keyboard. Middle C, high C, low C, lots of C's. Key of C is the one without the black keys. So let's look at the treble. Well, let's look at the bass. The bass tells you 2/4 time. You all should know this by now. That's bass clef, treble clef, middle C in the middle. Right? If you look at what they've done there, anybody know what that is? We've gone over it a lot in the past. Anybody? Let's go for middle C. Think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, E, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A is a relative minor to C. Therefore, it's going to be used a lot in music that's in C, more than likely. It's the sixth tone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've gone over harmony. Harmony with the right hand. Thirds. You use thirds a lot. Now listen.